Okay, so the next one asks you to read from pages 158 to 159. So this is called eating oil. He says, I hope I've made it clear that I think organic industrial food is a big improvement over the non organic food chain. To grow the plants and animals that made up my meal, no pesticides found their way into any farm worker's bloodstream, no nitrogen runoff seeped into the watershed, no soils were poisoned, no antibiotics wasted, and yet the wages and working conditions of the farm workers in an organic field aren't much different from those on non organic industry farms. Organic factory farm chickens live only slightly better lives than non-organic. In the end, a CAFO is a CFAO. Whether the cattle are fed organic corn or not, an organic label does not guarantee that cattle have spent any time in a real pasture. To top it off, my industrial organic meal is nearly as drenched in fossil fuel as a non-organic meal. Organic farmers generally use less fuel to grow their crops, yet most of the fuel burned by the food industry isn't used to grow food. Almost 80% of the fuel burned is used to process food and move it around. This is just as true for an organic bag of lettuce as a non organic one. The original organic food movement thought organic farming should be sustainable. That means it should be as much as possible a closed loop, recycling, and using renewable energy. The industrial organic food chain is anything but a closed, renewable loop. The food in our organic meal had floated to us on a sea of petroleum just as surely as the corn based meal. So, it's asking you to select a supporting point for this claim. Now, if you are here, it means the answer you selected is incorrect. We are going to go through that. Please watch the full video and listen for the word that will allow you to continue. So, our answer choices are, although better for the environment overall, industrial organic food still uses many fossil fuels, which has a negative impact on the environment. He says industrial food systems strip the soil of nutrients and therefore many foods of healthy compounds that used to exist in them. C says industrial organic food is produced with less energy and fossil fuels than any other food system. And D says industrial organic farming is the most sustainable food system consumers can choose. So the title of this section is eating oil. So we know that it has to do something with oil and fuels and things like that. So right off the bat, B and D are going to be incorrect. Now, A says, although better overall, it still uses many fossil fuels. And that was something that was really pointed out in this section. It talked about how it still uses it to transport it and things like that. It doesn't use it to actually farm, but the process before or after. And then this one says industrial organic food is produced with less energy and fossil fuels. So the author specifically does not say that. He actually says that regardless of if it's organic or not, fossil fuels are still used. So we know that C is not our answer, which leaves us with A. Yes, we like the idea of organic food and it is good overall. However, they still use fossil fuels for transportation and things like that. So your secret word here is going to be secret. Sorry, the word that you need to move on is going to be secret. Go ahead and click the word secret in order to move to the next section. Have a good day, y'all.